recording. Is it gonna?
It's
All right.
recording.
Yeah, it started.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Annabella Betancourt, and I am a geophysicist from Venezuela. I started my career there, worked for 22 years for Halliburton on the landmark side, which is the software development side of Halliburton. I started with processing, seismic processing, and then moved on to interpretation, velocity analysis, volume visualization. Did many things with Halliburton over my career. I started as a consultant and then moved into technical sales and sales, um, workflow, uh, management and adoption, technology deployment, and then moved into research and development to manage the geophysical interpretation development, and then to quality assurance. And in quality assurance, I think it was about 2 years, I got exposed to everything else outside of geology and geophysics, um, production, economics, infrastructure management, etc. And then after 22 years, I came to SEG. I have been with SEG for 4 years. I am the managing director of programs. That means that I have all the student programs, all the near surface, humanitarian program, GWB, and the professional development under my portfolio. So my job at SEG really is to plan and generate a strategy to develop all of these different programs and make them available to all of our SEG community. And most of the time, I really work for Jessica. She's going to say that she works for me, but I really work for her, and I work for Vanessa, so they can do everything they have to do to support you and to make sure that everything that you need is available. So that's me. Nice to meet you all.
It's also nice meeting you too, Vanessa,
Nice
Annabelle.
meet.
It's a pleasure meeting you. I'm so glad meeting you for the very first time. Thank you very much.
Well,
Yeah.
hi, I'm Vanessa Medina, and I'm the SEG first advisor for scholarship and field camps. I am a computer scientist, and I've been working with ACG for 1 year.
And that was very short and sweet, Vanessa. Vanessa and Annabella and I are just like sisters, I would say. Except that sometimes sisters fight. We don't usually fight at all. We are just like this team. I would say like a dream team. And I know that probably sounds silly, but we get along so well. And there are times when students will email Vanessa and ask a question that might be more something that I can answer. And so then she'll send it to me and say, hey, Jess, this is for you. And then sometimes students will ask me questions about scholarships and field camps, and I really don't have the answer. So I just send it to Vanessa. So sometimes if you're like, wow, I just got this email from this new person, who's this? It's because I've already sent it to her going, hey, can you help these students? So most of you already probably know who I am. Celebrity status. No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I am, Jessica, and I work on the programs that Vanessa doesn't cover. And so we work together to give y'all opportunities. I look at the applications. I verify SEG membership statuses. So we just do a lot of the background work to make your student chapters, work as strong as you can and have as many opportunities. So Peter, sorry about that. I'm adjusting my little seat here. Peter, the last time we spoke, I thought I went over our student programs, but would you like for me to go over them again? Because you titled it scholarships. And so that's why I wanted to make sure Vanessa was here. But I can go over our student programs again. You just let me know. I want to kind of gauge this with what your needs are.
All right, so the basic purpose of this program is to actually allow students, most especially students that have not applied for SEG Scholarship and those that have tried applying before, for them to understand how the process of the scholarship is, and also to also intimate students with the SEG program as a whole. This is your first time coming to SEG EKSU chapter, to my own student chapter, because you've never been on any of our webinar. And I would say it's a great pleasure to have you. And basically, I want you to also speak to some of my SEG members, because as much as possible, I've tried doing the explanation, but I also want them to hear from you what the SEG program is all about and how they can really get interested in it. So basically, that's just it.
Perfect.
So if you give me time, I'd just like to do a welcome speech and do the normal welcome to welcome people,
Sure.
and I'll introduce the moderator for today. We'll be handling these sections for today. All right. Hello, everyone. How are you doing today, everyone? My name is Olare Wajitolu, and I'm the SEG president for Ekiti State University, precisely Ekiti State in Nigeria. And this is the first webinar we're doing for the year 2024. I really want to appreciate the presence of everyone that is here. And it's a great pleasure having you all. Thank you very much. Um, I would like to introduce Jessica, who will be speaking on the overview of SEG programs, what you need to know about SEG programs, and other essentials. And also Olashupo Deborah, who will be handling the moderation for today's webinar, will take over after Jessica is done. So Jessica, over to you.
Absolutely. And Peter, I apologize. When I said that I thought that we had this discussion, Peter and I had a lot of discussions about his outreach project. And so that's why I was like, have we had this? But no, you are completely correct. What we had talked about was your outreach project. But like Peter said, I am going to share my, okay, 1 second. I'm going to go into the settings and I'm going to make everyone bypass the lobby so we don't have to let them in. They can just go in. Okay. I'm sorry, Annabella. I'm in meeting info or settings. Sorry, guys. Oh, I'd have to go all the way to the calendar. Okay. Okay, how about this? I'm just going to keep going and will one of you allow people in or should I just do it real quick?
Do it really
Do it
quick.
real quick.
Just go to
Okay.
the calendar, scroll all the way down, click on meeting options. I don't know what that I can change them because I didn't create the meeting.
Yeah, I see it. I scrolled all the way down and it's loading. Come on, come on.
Okay, it will load. And then once in meeting options, it says who can present and who can bypass lobby. And so just change it to everyone. That's just going to be for this meeting.
Yep, got it. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
And guys, I'm going to have to step out in 5 minutes because I have another meeting that I have to run. But it is a pleasure to meet you, and I'm happy that you're exploring all your opportunities. And hopefully, we'll see at least one of you at Image if you apply to SLS, and hopefully with other programs.
Yes. And yes, Annabella is, like I said, she's the one that makes all of this stuff happen. Okay, I hope that this works. Okay. Can you see my student program screen?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, good. All right. And I should have added Vanessa's name. I'm so sorry. Okay, so a little bit about our SEG Evolve program. Like it says, it is a virtual internship, and very, very lucky for you, you have Chineza or Mary. She's actually on the bus coming home from school right now, so she might not be able to speak, but I know you all have her contact. She is in our SEG Evolve Energy Exploration internship right now. So any questions about it, you can probably ask her, but SEG Evolve has, it's a student program, but it has two different aspects, or I guess I could say two different programs. So you have one that deals with energy exploration, so like oil and gas, and then the other one is carbon solutions. Annabella, could I share this with the students after I'm done? I think she might have left, but I think I can share a few of these with the students. But also, just a thought, I was thinking maybe I should set up a big base camp group for all of our student chapter leaders. I think that might be a good idea. And then you have a one spot where I can give you all of our deadlines and stuff and things that are coming up. Peter, do you think that might be a good idea?
Yeah, I think we for the sub-Saharan have something like that. We have a WhatsApp group where all student leaders in the sub-Saharan have, and Mary is doing a good job actually giving us information as regards the deadline.
Mary is amazing at that.
Yeah.
But back to this, so our Evolve virtual internship, what I feel leads this program and sets it apart from the IBA. The IBA program is amazing. Okay, it is an awesome opportunity with AAPG. That program is 8 weeks, and it's a competition. Okay, very competitive. Whereas our program, depending on which one you pick, it's between 6 and 8 months, and there's no competitive aspect. Okay, everyone is learning. We are not competing. You're not competing against really anybody except yourself. And so you have industry mentors that help your team to learn, and you build, a hands-on project. And what I think is so cool is everything you learn in college and then everything that actually happens in the real world. It's kind of like we mold those two aspects. So you learn stuff in school, and then when you get out in the real world, you're like, ooh, this is kind of different. So what we do is try and mold that, or we say bridge those gaps, but we kind of try and show you, okay, here's what you learned, here's how people really do it in the real world, and let's practice. And so this just, it highly accelerates you as a student. And then whenever you do start working and you get your first job, you are well ahead of most of your peers because of all of the different things and techniques you've learned. You learn even soft skills in this program of how to work on a team, how to host a meeting, how to be a team leader. So different aspects as well. And then let's see. Ooh, I didn't know it moves like that. I'm so fancy. Just kidding. Okay, so this is about the Carbon Solutions program. And for this, I don't know how that did that. I didn't say to go. For this program, the applications are going to open in the summer of 2024. So it's about to end around March. Oh, stop it. Sorry, guys. I don't know how it's just going without me because I didn't put it on any timer. I might have to just do this. I'm sorry. I don't know why it's going without me. Can y'all see it okay? Okay, I'm sorry. I have no idea why I was going. But anyway, like I said, this part of the program is all about carbon storage, utilization, and mitigation. Yeah, I think I got that right. Carbon capture, utilization, and storage. Guys, I'm sorry, my background is in elementary education, and it's not in geoscience. So each of you students are 500 times smarter than me in anything related to geoscience. So don't ask me any geoscience questions, okay? I'd have to Google it. But you will just learn so much in this program. I would suggest that if you wanted to be a part of our SEG Evolve program, if you wanted to like I said, be a part, I would highly suggest you start with the energy exploration part, the one that, like I said, Mary is in with her team right now. And then after you've been in that program, you can apply for the Carbon Solutions program. The Carbon Solutions one is, I don't want to say it's a little bit more difficult. It's just a little bit different content, and there's a lot more model building. Whereas there's not as, you don't build models in the other program. So like I said, I would suggest you start with, yeah, go ahead, dear.
Yeah, I also want to say that for you to run the carbon solutions, you need to know how to do exploration and all the mapping side and um, characterization, evaluation of prospects. So if you don't do the energy exploration program first, you will be at loss with the carbon solutions program, because what you do in 6 months of energy exploration is only like 6 weeks in the carbon solutions.
100%.
So highly recommended to do energy exploration first.
Yes. It's not a required prerequisite, like in your college, you have some classes you have to take before you can take other ones. But the energy exploration, just like Annabella said, it's, you're going to do that for 6 to 8 months, right? And then just like she said, in carbon solutions, excuse me, you hit the ground running, and it's almost like you have to know what you were supposed to learn in the other program and be ready. And so this is my first year with the Carbon Solutions program. And so I have seen a lot of teams struggle because they don't have a strong enough background in the mapping and all of those different aspects. So like I said, I would do the energy exploration first. And I guess Mary took my recommendation because that's what her team is doing. Okay, so I'm going to go to my next slide. Oh gosh, come on, work with me. All right, then I'm going to hide that. Okay, so this slide just kind of further talks about the energy exploration program. This is one of our teams from Argentina, and you'll learn about geology, regional mapping, the petrophysical analysis, well ties, everything. We talk a little bit about CCUS at the very end of this program. But to me, the biggest difference between the IBA program and our SEG Evolve program, and trust me, I'm not talking trash about the IBA, it is amazing, is that with our program, you have weekly mentor sessions with people that some are still in the industry. They might be working for BP, Chevron, ExxonMobil, big companies, S&P Global. Some work for SLB, which used to be Schlumberger. So you're working with amazing people that are in the industry right now. And then the people that are retired, they are retired from those big companies, right? So they give such an amazing perspective to our students, and they're just great people to build in your network. Okay. I mean, I don't want to call them celebrities because that kind of sounds silly, but it's kind of like these are big people, right, that are doing great things in the world. And sometimes you might drop their name and people are like, oh my gosh, you know that guy? So they're really, important people. I mean, we're not going to set you up with just anybody, okay? Okay, now this program, I'm sure, or I'm hoping that a lot of you have learned about this program. And guys, stop me if you have any questions. Please, please, please. You don't have to wait till the end. Just say Jess, okay, and I'll stop. This program is also one of my favorites. This is different from Evolve in the way that this takes place at Image in Houston. And so this is a 2-day, I guess I could say, workshop with our leadership symposium with Chevron staff. So Chevron is our big donor for this program. That's why it's this SEG Chevron, program. And so each student chapter can nominate one. It says officer. I will be honest, there are times when one of your officers might not be able to get a visa, or for whatever reason, you're like, look, I would like to send our social media person, or sometimes you just nominate another person. What I suggest for this is think about who's graduating when. And because if you have graduated, you can't be in the program. Like if you've graduated from your school. Now, if you have graduated, but you're in another like doctorate degree or another master's program, then absolutely, right, you can. But you have to be an active student. So if you wanted to say, okay, look, Peter, he's graduating in 3 years, but Ogana, he's graduating next year. So you know what? We might want to, nominate Ogana so he can come because he's graduating now. Peter, he can come in 2 years. Like, that's kind of way I think about it, just so that everybody can have an opportunity. Because if Ogana wants to apply, but he's already graduated, he can't come. So for this program, it's fully sponsored to come. We pay for your flight, your hotel. We give you money to buy food when you're in Houston. That is beyond the dinners and breakfasts that we have for you. And then we pay for your image registration. So you come to the entire conference, kind of like the experience that Ogana had, right? Which I'm sure he can tell you was great. And then it's just, this program, guys, is just so amazing because I consider it that you are like, I don't want to say it's like an interview because they're not going to sit down and ask you questions, but you are showcasing your talent. You are advertising and promoting yourself in front of all of these people at Chevron, right? And so you want them to know your name. You want them to go, oh, that's Peter. He's from, EKSU, university. He does this with, you want them to know you, because then I'm not promising anything that they would give you a job. I'm not promising that, right? I'm not. But you just never know what could happen in a couple of years, or you just never know. It's just an amazing opportunity for you to build your network, and especially with these Chevron people. Also, if you can, see the picture on the right, you get to meet such amazing people that are from all over the world, all student chapters, and it's just a great, great experience. Like I said, this is different from Evolve, because Evolve, you have weekly meetings, you're building a project. This has nothing like that. Sorry. So sorry, I'm drinking some tea and it's kind of making me burp. I'm sorry. But anyway, this is 2 days and it takes place at Image. Any questions about SLS? Oh, sorry. These applications close February 19th of this year. So to be able to apply, your chapter has to be active. And when we say active, that means that you have had to had your student chapter report submitted at least within the last year. So like I say January 19th, 2024, yours had to have been submitted by at least February 19th of 2023, within the last calendar year. Also, your 4 officers, president, vice president, secretary, and treasurer, those 4 people only must have a paid SEG membership. So those 2 things I have to check on my end before I can look at any part of your application, anything. So I'm not looking at anything until I can cross those 2 things off. And if those 2 are checked, then I can process your application. Now, just a little snippet about the student chapter reports. And I sent emails. I'm hoping, Peter, that you got it yesterday. But I sent a bunch of emails yesterday about the student chapter reports. Being perfectly honest, sometimes things get a little confusing, and my job and what I like to do, my background, like I said, is education. So I think of everything on a student perspective. How can I make this better for a student? And so I felt some parts of the chapter report were a little bit confusing. And so what I did, I got with a group of about 8 or 9 students, and through November and December, we worked on the student chapter report together, and we made it a little bit better. We made the faculty advisor questions better. And I feel like it's better for everybody. The faculty advisor part, to be honest, that's what stops a lot of applications if that faculty advisor has not done their part. So with our platform, and if any of you have applied for anything, like Peter, you applied. Oh, Mary, did you have a question? I'm gonna have to mute her. Sorry, Mary. Oh, go ahead. Oh, sorry. I'm doing everything wrong. Allow mic. Okay, Mary, did you have a question, dear? Sorry, Mary, when it was echoing, I muted you, but go ahead. Oop, she's still muted.
Okay, I think she doesn't know she's muted.
Mary, you're muted, dear. And I cannot read lips. Okay, how about this, Mary?
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Go. Yes, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I said I just came back home, so I joined with my laptop. I didn't know that it would start echoing in. Sorry.
Did you have a question, dear?
No, please go ahead.
Okay, if any of your mics aren't working, you can put the question in chat and then I will get it. Okay, so in previous years, the student chapter report was open for ranking, which means you could be base level, ridge level, or summit level. And with those scores, you could be the best student chapter, or you could get most improved, which again, we have this celebrity here, Mary, that her chapter won best student chapter, and the other celebrity, Ogana, who started the NAMD chapter. So I'm so glad that we have all these amazing people on here. But so that place where, Peter, you did your application for the outreach, your Water Revive project, that is the same place where you would apply for SLS, you would apply for SEG Evolve, you would apply for everything, but hold on one second. Vanessa, is that the same place they apply for scholarships or no?
No, it's not the same place. We
Okay.
have something like an extra website for scholarships.
Okay. Oh my gosh. Who is this guy? Look at your hat. That is so cool. I am jealous. Okay, I need that because I'm having a bad hair day. So Mary, no pressure, okay? That's my next thing I need besides my shirt, so it can cover up my bad hair day. Okay, anyway, so before, if you wanted to be ranked, you had to submit your report, which it says report, but it's really like a form to me, or like an application. You fill in the boxes. To me, a report is like an essay, right? But this is more like you just fill in the boxes of your activities and stuff. So you would have to do that by March 31st of that year. Well, to me, it gets a little confusing because you're thinking of the previous year's activities, right? And you can't do anything from January, February, or March because it has to be from the previous year. So I talked to the students that were working with me and I said, what can we do to make this better? And they said, how about this? How about you close it January 31st? And so then everything is fresh on your mind. You are still thinking about everything you just did, because if you put it all the way till March, you do some activities and you're like, can I talk about those? I don't know. Elizabeth, why did you take that thing off your head? It was so pretty. See, Elizabeth, you had something that I could have used too. Oh my gosh, y'all are just making me jealous this morning. Okay, Vanessa will be right back. No worries. So anyway, to me, I thought it would be better if we close the applications or the student chapter reports by January 31st, only for ranking, okay? And that, if you wanted to, do your report at any other time during the year, that's totally fine, but you would automatically be the base level. It wouldn't be ranked for best student chapter or anything like that. So I just wanted to clarify that for you. That is something new this year, and that was one of the emails that I sent out yesterday. And when I said I sent out a bunch of emails, I want to clarify that I did not send out a lot of different emails. What I have to do, and this probably sounds very old school, but I open up my email system and I create a bunch of new emails and they're all blank. And then I write one email and then I copy and paste it into all of these blank emails. And then because I can't send the email to all chapter presidents I can't send it to everybody at one time because it's too many people. So what I have to do is send it in chunks of 60. And oh my gosh, y'all, it takes a while to send it to 60, 60, 60. And then I send it to the faculty advisor, the SEG email that y'all have set up, the secretary, the president, the vice president. I literally send it to everybody because I want to make sure that everyone knows that what is going on and this opportunity. So that's why, Peter, I was kind of asking you if maybe a base camp group, and maybe Mary, you and I can talk on WhatsApp if you want, about setting up a base camp group so that you have another way to see what's going on. Because we send out emails, but sometimes the emails don't get to everybody, or, emails are just a pain sometimes. So anyway, SLS applications close February 19th. You have to get somebody in that program. The biggest thing with any of our programs really is if you're going to travel to one of our conferences, you have to have a visa. And unfortunately, my sweet poor Mary could not get her visa. Oh my God, she tried so hard. And so if at your university there's an issue, or your country there's an issue with getting a visa, I would suggest, if there is any chance that you would be coming to a conference, that you start that visa process now. Okay, we have somebody with a question. You may go ahead. I don't want to say your name wrong. Can you say it for me?
Hello, everyone.
Oh, and I cannot hear you.
Yeah, my name is Nassim Arar. I'm currently the president of SEG Student Chapter Algeria.
Well, hi. I did not know we were going to have
Yeah.
multiple groups here. Hello, welcome.
Yes, of course. We had a chat on LinkedIn. Essentially.
Oh, see, LinkedIn, guys. Look at you, Peter.
Yeah.
Go ahead, dear.
So, Miss Jessica, I had a question about SEG Several Student Leadership Symposium. Is that I didn't hear the point that you said before. So, which is the most criteria point that the commit is based on to choose the 50 chapters from 200 chapters around the world, which is the best point?
I don't understand your question. I'm sorry.
Which is the most important point that you have to focus on it to be chosen on?
Okay, well, let me clarify one thing. You can only nominate one person from your chapter. So your chapter will have to sit down and talk and decide on one person. I'm not sure if you were on here whenever I spoke about it, but I said sometimes what I think might be smart is to look at when people are going to graduate, because you can only come one time and you have to be an active student. So if, like, say you're in your bachelor's degree and you've got 3 more years at your university, but then somebody else, like your vice president, is going to graduate in 2 years, you might suggest your vice president come because they're going to graduate sooner. Also, let me clarify one more thing. If you move to a different university, you can't attend again. A lot of people have said, well, I was at NAMD, not like they said NAMD, but I was at NAMD, but now I'm at EKSU. Can I apply again? No. Like, if you attended once, you can't come back to this program. At least you can join our other programs, right? But you cannot attend SLS twice. Okay, you've got another question. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay, thank you so much. That's it.
That was it?
Yeah, because at the first I had a technical problem here on my mic. So
okay,
now all is clarified.
I'm going to put my email in the chat. And if you have any questions, email me. And then I will get it figured out. And like I said at the very beginning, I'm not sure if y'all were all here whenever I said it. There are some times when I'm doing about 15 million things at one time. And Vanessa knows sometimes we are like drowning in applications and emails and documents. and we forget. We are human. We don't do it on purpose. We just absolutely forget. And so if you had asked me to do something and then like a couple days goes by, what I tell people is just send me a gentle reminder. And they'll literally say, this is a gentle reminder. And then I'll do it. Okay. So if something happens and, I don't respond quick enough, just send me a gentle reminder. Okay. Enough about SLS because we're coming to the top of the hour. Okay. Yeah. Field camps. This is actually Vanessa's strong point. Vanessa, can you briefly talk about field camps for them?
Yes, sure. Okay. Like can you see in the presentations, the fundings for these projects are for promoting the professional development, student support, and youth outreach of SEG. The grants range from 1,000 to 20,000 annually, okay, per project. And the most important thing for applying is that you have to be an active SEG student chapter. Applications goes from November 1st to February 24th. So we are February 1st. So we are almost closing the applications. And you have to be interested in doing something. Your chapter must be interested in doing something interesting, maybe a resource in your area. But of course, one of the most important thing that we are looking for is that students learn about the methods, about how to get data, how to interpret the data, and also that you can get involved with the community, that you can help the community in some way, and that's it. I don't know if you have any question about field camps. No? Nobody?
Hey.
For me, I think for me that's fine for the field camp. I don't know if any other person have question. I'm even looking at maybe we just organize. I know you've done that a lot. I think this year we could actually, before the closing period for the applications, we probably run a field camp grant application process for student chapter. Probably later on we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, sure, no problem.
Right.
Okay, Vanessa, sorry, let me just ask you now, because we were thinking of organizing a regional field camp like the one that Egypt did in Egypt. So we want to do it for sub-Saharan Africa. So when we want to make the application, are we going to be sending it out as just one student chapter, or do you understand my question?
Yeah, you want to do your project together?
Yes.
Yeah,
As a
it's
region.
okay. You can fill out just one application, and and you can add in the name of the student chapter. You can add both names. And
Okay.
when you develop your project, you just explain everything, and you explain that you are going to work together. That is a project that is together. That's
Okay.
it.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right.
Okay. Sorry, I had something that I had to do really quick. Student chapter outreach grant. As you can see with our beautiful picture here, we have Mary that I think you've received one, and then Peter has received one. So Peter, do you think it's okay if I skip this because your chapter already received an outreach grant?
Yeah. I think you could just brief on it, but because of time, I want us to just brief on it and we can continue.
Okay, cool. Because yeah, I
Okay.
have a couple of other meetings I have to jump into.
Yeah.
But the big thing about the outreach grant is that we want you to go out into your community and talk to students, mainly that are, we call it high school, but like about to go to college or thinking about college, so that you can get them excited about being a geophysicist in your country. Now, I think it was Mary that told me, I can't remember, I thought y'all told me the Nigerian way, where you take a test and then the test, based on these results, they put you in one category or something. But we still want you to inspire people to go out and be a geophysicist. Those applications close March 1st, and it's the same place you go and apply for everything else. Okay, Challenge Bowl. Again, luckily you've got Mary on here. She is the Sub-Saharan African Challenge Bowl queen. So anything you need with Challenge Bowl, you talk to Mary. I'll be very quick, Mary. There are times when, and Peter, and Vanessa can attest to this, we have to have a lot of paperwork on our end before we can release funds. So there are sometimes I will send everything to the accounting department and then they push it back to me and say, Jess, I need this document. And so I'm like, okay, I need this document. So I got to send it back to you as students. So please, please, please do not think it's anything that we're, trying to be really tough. It's usually, unfortunately, we send it and then we get told, okay, nope, we need this, this, and this. And so then we send it back to you. And so sometimes that waiting period is what, takes so long. But like I said, anything you have, I'm going to push this to Mary. She is the Challenge Bowl queen. So anything you have questions about Challenge Bowl, you can ask to Mary offline. Okay, scholarships. This is Vanessa's area as well.
Okay. Like the purpose of our program is to encourage the study of geophysics and the related geoscientists in universities around the world. The range of the awards goes from $500 to $10,000. Application opens 1st November until 1 March, and this is annually. This year, for example, the process is open for academic year 2024 to 2025. This means that the academic year goes from August 24 to July 25. Okay? Who are eligible? Since these applications are first based on merit, we have the students need to meet the next requirements. They can be a high school that are intending to attend a college for the next year, an undergraduate student or a graduate student. They need to be students above average, and like we say, they have to follow. They need to follow a curriculum directed toward a career in applied geophysics. Something that is very important to know is that you only be eligible for receiving a scholarship if you are enrolled in a university for the whole academic year, or at least until half academic year, that will be until December of that academic year. If you are going to finish your studies before December, you won't be eligible. Okay? What do you need to, what is the most important part for filling an application? First, you need to fill out all the fields required in the applications in English. please do it in English. If you don't do it in English, any of the committee members will understand your application. They don't speak anything else more than English. You need to follow to write a series of essays. I think this is one of the most important part of your applications, because when you answer these essays, you are talking about yourself. You are talking about why are you interested in the geophysics studies, and you are saying why you deserve a scholarship. So please put effort in your essays. Make sure to answer all the questions in complete and full sentences, because that's the way that you will get to know by the committee members. You need to submit an academic transcript. What is an academic transcript? It's a document that contains all your academic performance. At the beginning of the application, when you are before the evaluation, or before, better saying, before getting selected, this application can be, this transcript can be unofficial. This means that you can just print out your grade report card, let's say, for your school, and send me that. It has to be in English also, and you have to be sure that it includes the name of the school, and it has to be up to date, and of course your name. If you don't have a transcript in English, you can translate it, but please have any authority of the school sign it. And last but not least, we ask for a PDF format of the document before you upload it. You also need to receive 2 recommendations from professors or teachers. I want to emphasize that you are going to be responsible for following up with the professors and for receiving your recommendations. Remember, you have to plan ahead. You have to make sure to ask those professors that you need the recommendations. So give them time to follow out the recommendations for you. What else? Okay. Once you submit your application, the committee evaluates all the applications, and they select the top ranked students, and based on that, they assign the scholarships. The awards payments usually are done in July. You will be informed of this of the award. And for receiving the award, you need also to complete a form. And in that moment, and is when we ask for the official transcript, we ask for affidavit, we ask for a bank information, we ask for a thank you letter. Once you complete all those documents, I process the documents, I check on the documents, and then we do the payment. After we do the payment, you also have a compromise with us. You need to fill out a midterm report in the field half of the academic year, and you have to show me that what is the midterm report. It's a progress report showing that you actually have been a student for the first half of this academic year, and that you are meeting all the requirements you have done for having the scholarship. there is something important when you are a recipient. You need to become, we ask or we encourage to become you a SEG member. We encourage you to be part of the SEG student chapter, which you are now part of one of those, so it's wonderful. And that why? Because that will be, we will take in consider that for a renewal scholarship. Let me see, what else can I say about that? Okay, your scholarship can be used for tuition, fees, books, software, any other education-related expenses. And there is something important that we encourage you to consult in your country. It is about the tax code. Because SEG does not provide any tax documentation. What else? I think I say most of the information. If you have questions.
Any questions about scholarships?
Okay, yeah, so I have a quick question for me as regards my school. I know we'll still treat this, but I just needed to bring this up because we still have other speakers that need to speak on a whole lot of things. But just quick one, I want to ask as regards the transcript. My school they don't really give out the transcript because it has to go through a process, have to go through the faculty. So I really want to ask if I'm able to kind of get a screenshot because we have a portal based where we see our results. I want to know, can we kind of screenshot it and have a signed signature of either our HOD or the dean on it? So I don't know if this is applicable.
Yes, as soon as you have an authority signed your transcript, I think it will be okay. But once you get selected for a scholarship, you need to send an official transcript. So for the application time, we can use that one, the screenshot. But once you are selected, we need your official transcript because it's the only way that we have to be sure, right, that you are enrolled in a university, that you are in the grade level that you are saying that you are, and that's why.
Thank you very much. I
You're
think we're
welcome.
good. Jessica, Miss Jessica, are you good? So that because I want to introduce the other speakers, so they put us through the application process, how their own experiences have been too. So I want you to just finish up so you can just conclude with. You muted. I don't know. You muted.
Sorry, I didn't have much else. So
Okay.
your other speakers can go ahead and speak.
Right. Thank you very much. Deborah, over to you.
Everyone. Hello,
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you.
can you hear me?
Yeah, very well. I can hear you.
Okay, thank you so much for this privilege to me. So I would be introducing the next speaker. Once again, my name is Olashupo Deborah, and I'm going to be moderating for this section. And before I introduce the next speaker, I would like to share with us his profile. Ogona Emena is a Swedish-based research geologist. He obtained his bachelor's degree from Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Akwa, Nigeria, after which he proceeded to Europe, where he obtained an international joint master's in geo-resource exploration from Garnet University in Belgium, Uppsala University in Sweden, and Freiburg in Germany. He is a recipient of multiple SEG awards and grants, including 3 SEG Scholarship, an SEG Outreach Grant Award, and 3 Field Camp Grants. He currently leads the Vatun Innovation Team, a sustainability-driven startup that manages the Terra Optic Solutions in Sweden and Solar Stream project in Ghana. So I would like to hand over to Go now as he continues from where I stopped. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, afternoon, evening. I don't know, it's evening here right now, but it's nice to be here. It's nice to meet you again, Jessica, Vanessa, good evening, Tolu, and every other person. Thank you for having me. So I will try to run through what I have quickly, because I know I still have someone after me, but I'm having problem identifying where I would share my screen from. I don't know. I'm not really so used to working with Teams, so I've been spending like the last 5 minutes looking for it. Can someone help me,
Okay.
please?
Yeah, so Jessica, I think you will have to probably make him the host so that he can actually share a screen. Or whoever is able to do that, you have to make him part of the host so he can also share the screen.
I don't think
So
Jessica
sorry,
will
Peter, did you say you needed me?
Oh,
Yeah, I was thinking if you can make him the host so he can be able to share a screen.
Let me see how to do that.
Okay.
oh yeah.
Okay, I have made Ogana a presenter. Who else should I make a presenter so that there's no stalling?
Okay, so you can make Mary, me, and Izuchuku Kori a presenter.
And then I have to be super honest with you, Peter. I got called into another meeting with Portugal, so I'm going to be kind of back and forth. If you don't see me on camera, I'm probably in the Portugal meeting. It's literally on my phone right now.
Okay.
So if I will be right back. If my camera goes off, that means I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you. So thank you, Jessica, again. Thank you so much. Please, if I could ask, can you guys see my screen, or which of my screens can you see? Is it the actual PowerPoint slide or the presenter slide? I'm not so sure which one you're seeing right now. Hello?
Okay, so I can see both you and your slide. I think we're good.
No, we can see the slide, like the full slide.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. So yeah, my name is Ogonna Emenaha, as has been said earlier, and I'm just going to share with you what the task given to me this evening is just to share with you on my success story, I guess, yeah, on how I was able to go through the SEG system and has brought me to this place at this time. I wouldn't go into the details of how to apply for the scholarship. I think Vanessa did quite a good job down there. And it's beautiful to hear it from someone who works with the system. So it's easier for you guys right now. And I know I still have someone after me who is going to do a more thorough job in the whole process. So I'm just giving more like a superficial understanding or a superficial look of what it means to have an SEG scholarship. And as much as possible, I would like to hear your voices and, just for the next few minutes, because I want to make that as interactive as possible. All right, so the first thing I want to show you on my slide, I don't know if you can see this picture, and if you can remind me or tell me who exactly you're seeing. I hope no one gets it anyway, but yeah. Who is on my screen at this time? I hope you don't get it, because I really didn't. I spent all night trying to make it as difficult as possible for you guys to get it. Okay.
This is the video.
All right, see Jerry. Okay, Jerry Toby already said it's Davido, and yeah, so it's actually Davido. All right, and Davido is, for those who don't know him, is one of the biggest artists in Nigeria at the moment. But this picture was one of the trending pictures, I think, of 2021 or something, where we had this choke trend in Nigeria. Basically, you trying to say you were in a very, or you're in a very difficult and tight corner at that point. So in 2020, I had my first SEG scholarship. But before that time, this was basically where I was. I could hardly breathe. 2020 was the year of COVID. And aside that, I was working in the academia at that time. I was a graduate assistant lecturer in my university, and we were on strike. I had not been paid for about 10 months. So imagine you were not paid any salary for 10 months. You were not, you had no palliatives or anything. You basically had to, go through COVID just anyhow. And what made it difficult, I couldn't continue my research at that time. My research was basically stalled. I couldn't go on with my studies because I was also doing my master's side by side. So it was quite difficult. And my life at that time was just choking. It was a choke, right? And a few weeks after, or some months after, precisely on the 17th of June, on a Wednesday, I remember I was just going on a stroll on that morning, and I received this email from SEG saying I had been awarded an SEG scholarship. And it takes me back to the words of one of my very good friends, and I've shared it 1,000 times, when he said that testimonies have a way of reproducing themselves. So when you hear a person tell a story, it's somehow rub off on you. And as much as possible, I try not to listen to any negative or get any negative words from people, because it creates something around you. And this basically is my testimony, if I could put it that way. At the very time where I needed it most, SEG pulled through for me. I'm not going to tell you how much I was given, but it was enough to cover my entire research project for that year. And it was through that work and through subsequent interactions with SEG and things like that that I eventually got to study outside of Nigeria. But what I think is instructive at this time is, I don't know how your academics is choking you at this point. Maybe some people are at a stage where they feel like, see, if I don't get some kind of financial intervention, I don't think I can graduate. Well, good news. SEG has got your back. I know in Nigeria right now, we are trying to breathe. There's a common slang. I don't know if the slang is outdated yet, but I know you will get new Nigerian news here a bit late sometimes. Our president told us, let the poor breathe. So people are trying to breathe at this point. And that is why I want to encourage you at this time to give this application your best. So sit down and sit back and listen to these people who are going to share with you tips and tricks, if I could use that word. They've gone through the crucibles of SEG, like with respect to how SEG basically has helped pattern their lives. And everything you see them do today is because of the training they've received as students. I've worked with them basically at some point, so I know they are giving you quality. So this is just how I'm starting. And just to run through it quickly, this is my golden rule, and I've shared it 1,000 times. And no one gives you a scholarship because you are poor. People fund you because you are promising. And I know it sounds weird. I know there are some scholarship programs that are for indigent students. True, I don't discount that. But the reality on ground is that a lot of times, most of the major global scholarships, most of the big guys out there who are willing to fund your education are not funding you because you are poor or because you are going through a hard time or something. They are funding you because of the promise you hold, because you are someone that has proven to them beyond all reasonable doubts that you have indeed potentials, and they are willing to fund you, to support you, to ensure that you grow. And I usually would share this because a lot of times I have had the privilege to review a lot of scholarships, scholarship applications from my chapter. They used to have this, and I think about 2 years ago, where people submit. We try to review their scholarships before they submit it finally. And I see, so many times people talk about so many times people want to create this emotional sentiment around their application. I've seen people tell all kinds of very interesting stories. Their roof in their building is leaking. Their grandmother swallowed a shovel. Their father has eaten a wheelbarrow. And you put it in your scholarship application, and somehow they are hoping that these sentiments will help drive some pity, and then let's just give it to him. Well, that is not true. The scholarship itself is designed to support your education, because they know that, as students, you need some form of financial support to help you with your program. But the real reason why it's going to be offered to you, it's because of the promise you hold. That is why when you look at your, is it 4 or 5 essays now that you're asked to write, there's none of them that asks you, how poor are you, or what is your annual earning? What is your family earning, your family income for 2020 or for 2021? They are simply asking you, the essays are tailored towards finding out your career goals. What do you want to do in the next 1 year? Where do you see yourself in 15 years and all that? So when I read essays from people sometimes, and I see them telling me how their house, the landlord threw them out of the house and they've been sleeping on the road for 15 months and all. It's a good story, but nobody's going to give you a scholarship because you sleep on the road. I don't know if you get it. So people will not, the oldest sense of that scholarship is to support your career, to support your dreams, to help drive you to where you hope you're going to be in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. And that is exactly what you have to do to prove to them. And I'm saying this story not just for not just because of those who want to use emotional, stuff to do the applications, but also for some of us who have very good educational, our academics is our results are outstanding. You're having 5.0, you're having 5.2 over 5.0. Now, a lot of times, and I also was a victim to that. I wouldn't say I was a victim. We feel that because of this strong academic background we have, then we are entitled to that scholarship. So you see a lot of people, they don't put in a lot of effort into what is being asked. I have done this at some point, and I know I've lost some. I think the first SEG scholarship I wrote, I thought it was like the best in the world, because I wrote there how there's nobody on earth who probably has the same GP as I have. In fact, I am on fire, basically saying, if you don't give me this scholarship, things like that. I went into that application with an entitlement mentality that this is mine because I have worked hard and I should get it. But then I always tell people also, so I see all those, it's good to blow your what is it called now? Blow your own horn. I don't know how to put it, or blow your trumpet. But that is what your
Blow
CV
your
and
own
resume
horn.
is for. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
No, toot your own horn.
Oh, blow to your own horn. Okay. That is exactly what your CV is for. Put all those things on your CV, make all the noise there. But then when you see those questions, and I know Chinanza and Corey will probably deal with that later. When you see those questions, your responses should be tailored towards answering them appropriately, as much as you can. Don't go outside what they have asked you to. I think it's now just about 500 characters you have to, and which is like less than 70 words or something. So you don't have time to start telling them all these many exciting stories and all that. Do that job on your CV, but your questions, whether it's the volunteer, the leadership experience, or the volunteering work, or whatever questions you ask, that is, tailor your responses to hit the nail on the head, if that is the way I can put it. All right. So having said this, I just have 3 other tips to leave with you. The first one is breathe. That was the trending thing in Nigeria 2 months ago. Is it 2 months or 3 months ago when Tinubu said, let the poor breathe? First of all, breathe. When the scholarships open, typically during the scholarship season, I get a lot of people coming to me asking me for help, for assistance, if I can use that word, with their applications that they don't know what to put down. They don't know what to put down. I always tell them, just breathe. The guys who are going to evaluate you, or those who prepared the questions, didn't prepare it because they wanted to give you hypertension or high blood pressure. Calm down. All right. That is the first thing you have to, the very first thing we have to learn to do as academics, basically, and as people who are seeking for some form of financial support from organizations like SEG. Don't be in a hurry to write that essay. Take your time with the whole process. And that is one thing for me. I think that is where SEG, I think, gets it really right, because they give you about 3 to 4 or 5 months to prepare your application. There is no need to rush. I mean, it's beautiful to apply on time if you are that kind of person. But for me, typically, most of the time, I mean, it doesn't work for everybody. I don't send in my applications until like a week or a few days before the deadline. And that's because I want to do a thorough job. Even if it's just 70 words or 500 characters, I want to make sure that every character indeed counts, right? So don't be in a rush. Take your time. Make your, for a lot of people, there's this saying we have in Nigeria that school sweet, but na exams spoil them. Something like that. School supposed sweet, but na exams spoiled it. For those of you who know what it means. For me, for example, a lot of people, when I hear a lot of students say that their undergraduate experience wasn't so good because they found studying boring. I also found, I mean, quite honestly, nobody really enjoys spending so much time reading geology of rocks and all that. It could be very, very draining sometimes. But I had to find a way to make it work for myself, and I made it fun. I believe so much in the principle of play. I mean, playing, and because I took out time to study why children learn so quickly, even when they spend half their time playing, if not all their time playing. The teachers are teaching them, and they're teaching them playfully, and they're thinking A, B, C, D, but we as adults somehow think that we have outgrown all those things. So we want to read our ABCs as seriously as possible. You can make life a bit fun for yourself. And that is how I approach literally everything I do, including my applications. Some people feel we get pressured most of the time into trying to overblow our experiences. I don't know if that is the right word to use. We feel we are so pressured into putting down our applications without actually answering the questions that have been asked, because we feel, oh, this doesn't look too good enough. It doesn't look appealing enough, or it doesn't sound so interesting enough. And I'm going to address this in the next slide. What I just want you to do basically is look at those questions. And this is what I always do. I look at all the questions first, take time out, go through them. What am I required to put down in each of them? You have 5 essays to write or 4 essays to write. Take one at a time, one a day, one every 2 days, one every 3 days, right? Don't immediately write it. Just take out time to play with it. Think through it. Just what exactly can I write that will excite the evaluator or the jury or whoever will evaluate my work? Take time out typically what I do, when I wrote the SEG Scholarship essay, the first essay that got me my scholarship, I don't know if I'm putting it right. I remember I wrote it like very early in the morning, at about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. And that was because I had spent like 2-3 days I just look at the question and I just go back to what I'm doing, look at it and go back to what I'm doing. And while I'm doing that, I'm just playing with a lot of scenarios in my head. And one morning I woke up at 4 a.m. and it was like, I don't know, an aha moment for me, something like that. I just knew what to put down. And I spent the next 1 hour writing my essay, but it didn't end there. I had to do some extra work in reviewing. So please breathe, all right? The guys who are here are loaded. Arukwe and Corey and Miss Jessica and Vanessa have done a lot of job here already. They are here for you. They want you to get this scholarship as much as possible. So don't put pressure on yourself. Don't give yourself headaches and all that, all right? Secondly, this is probably one of my favorite games to play here in Sweden. The Swedes are people who are generally, they don't talk to anybody at all. So I have had to play a lot of very interesting games in the last couple of months. If things I probably would not have had time to do in Nigeria, because in Nigeria, everybody is hustling. But right here, we have too much time actually to do a lot of things. And one game I saw very interesting was Truth or Dare. I never played it in my life. I only saw it on American movies and stuff like that. Now, I want you to treat that application also like a Truth or Dare game. And the reason why I use very simple terms is so that you can remember it. I don't need to load it with so much information that you, maybe that because I do a lot of business pitches. So as much as possible, this is my takeaway from this slide. You have a choice to either win the jury by telling your truth or to lose them by sharing pseudo-truth. Pseudo-truth is just you telling them half lies or things that are not really entirely real. And I want to take you back to what Ms. Jessica mentioned some minutes ago about the way Nigerian education system is. All of you went through JAMB now. I remember when I applied for my first JAMB, my first choice was medicine and surgery, University of Ibadan. Then my second choice was pharmacy. Are you hearing the quality of the courses I applied for? Pharmacy. I didn't get admitted the first year. The next year, I didn't back down. I applied for engineering, mechanical engineering. I didn't come to play. Are you with me? But then I found myself in geology. And now SG is asking me, how did I get interested in geology? And a lot of times, a lot of us feel, if we tell them these are our experiences, are you sure? So you see people, the thing is, the guys who are going to evaluate your essays are already so well trained in identifying when you're not telling the truth. Somehow, I don't know how they do it, but maybe, okay, I have some experience in the academia. And in a class in Nigeria, you have 100 plus students. In the US, it's like 20 students in the class. So, but in Nigeria, you have 100, 120, 150 students in the class. And when I was an undergrad, I always wondered, how do these lecturers have time to mark all our scripts? Some take 3, 4, 5 classes and still are able to get your results ready in 2-3 weeks. Until I started proctoring and marking and grading scripts myself. And I found how incredibly it could be stressful, but it's easy to a large extent because your eyes get trained that once you open a script, even if you write your essays or your exam answers in 15 pages, I can immediately pick out what I need and know when you are going off, what is required of you. You don't need to over-exaggerate your experiences. You don't need to tell a lie to impress the judge or the jury. And the reality is, as I said earlier, I have reviewed a lot of SEG essays, probably, I don't know how many, but most of the time when I see people's applications, it always seems it's almost as though they copied themselves, even when they never met themselves. It's always as though there's something, because it's not exactly authentic. So everyone is writing, I've always been fascinated by the amazing world of geosciences. That's a lie from the pit of hell. You were not fascinated. In Nigeria, nobody is fascinating you, right? I don't know if you get it. So you see people saying, I always was excited by volcanoes. You have not ever seen a volcano. I don't think I ever heard of a volcano until I was in secondary school. But I was always interested in the dynamic interplay of Earth's processes, how magma. It's not true. Why not tell them that I consider myself as an accidental geoscientist. I had applied for medicine, but somehow found myself in the field of geology. And after one semester, I found out I saw incredible opportunities or incredible things that, the authentic story. Tell them a story from your first semester, something that caught your attention and you saw, come on, I think this is my chance to move and shake the world. You saw a real problem through your experience in geosciences. I remember one of the projects that today is influencing one of the businesses I'm into, which is I'm building this equipment that cleans up contaminated groundwater systems using solar energy. And one of the things that influenced that or helped me drive and move in that direction was during my final year seminar, when I had to do a job or a seminar project on hydrocarbon contamination of groundwater systems in the Niger Delta. That was my moment. That was my most, it's driving, it's basically been my drive for the last couple of years. It can also be your drive. You can add some color and flavor to that, your boring, if I can use that word, what we call boring experiences. It doesn't have to be boring. Add flavor to it. I always wanted to be a nurse. But now I see that I can be a nurse of the earth or something. I don't have to meet my dreams, or I don't have to treat people in the hospital to still meet my dreams, or to still I don't know, have my dreams come to reality. I can actually, you know, be a nurse of the earth. I can be the earth's doctor. You can still do all those things, right? So add some flavor. It's left for you to either tell them the generic thing. I was fascinated, you know, from birth. I was born with a rock in my hand when I was a baby. Or tell them I never actually heard of geology until I was 17 years old, and captivate your jury. All right. So Arukwe and the rest of them will still tell you more about that. But the next thing, and I have probably 8 minutes to be done with you, is pitch it. Treat everything like a pitch. That is one thing I've learned to do in the last 2 years. All thanks to the program I've been running for the last 2 years. Treat everything like a pitch. There is a way to capture your audience. All right. And these are the 5 key elements that every pitch has. There's a hook, there's a problem statement, a solution, the benefits, and call to action. Of course, in your SEG essays, you don't have to capture all this, every single item I stated here. But you can approach, for example, this particular question. I think it's one of your essays that says what you hope to do with applied geophysics in your future career. Why not? I mean, don't just go ahead to say, I want to work in the oil industry. Why do you want to go and work in the oil industry? Let there be, in this case, I'm expecting you to probably state a specific problem you've probably identified through your schoolwork, or through your, I don't know, through your field trip or something, and you know how you're going to address it as a geoscientist, how that matches with your future, where you want to go upon graduation. I want to go into research. I want to go into, you know, I want to go into this. State a problem and how you are a solution to that problem. All right. So whichever way is going to fit into your story, if it's just going to be the problem statement, the solution, and the benefits, it's fine. If it's going to be a hook and a solution statement, it's fine. But every pitch that stands out basically always has this in it, always has this element. And also, one important thing that people have already said is that don't say it, show it. I don't know if that is how it's said. Don't just tell me that this is what I did, this is what I did. Show what you did, either through whether it's in the volunteering section or the leadership experience or whatever thing you have to write in your essays. Be as descriptive as possible. What specific thing you did. Don't just say I was SEG president. Yes, what did you do as SEG president? You know, one specific thing that stands out for you, and you carry this same, you know, posture, or let this posture also guide every other applications you write, not just SEG Scholarship. So very important. And lastly, you can see this image, right? Tell me, what numbers can you see? It's $10,000. I mean, $10,000 is at stake right now. What numbers can you see on this? What?
45283.
So someone says 45283. Oh, she answered very fast. $10,000 can do lots of wonders. All right. So who else here?
So we have 545283 and 83. Then which other one? I think there's the last one. So
he has said more numbers than we have on the screen. So
345283.
Sorry?
345235.
Now you see what is happening here. Okay. Now the actual numbers we have here, and which Jessica has mentioned, which Jessica just posted now. Exactly. 3452839. Thank you. Thank you. Choir band. Thank you very much. Now, you see one interesting thing that happened. When the first guy said 5283 or something, everyone saw 5283, right? When someone now mentioned the 4, somehow your eyes picked out the 4. When someone mentioned the 9, your eyes picked out 9. When someone said 6, you started looking for 6. That even if you had seen the 9 before, your eyes started feeling it's probably a 6 I was seeing and not 9. Now that tells you the power of an extra eye, what an extra eye can actually do to your work. So this is my last advice for you: get an extra eye. Don't submit that essay because you have read it. give it to someone else to look at. Don't say because you sent it on Grammarly, and Grammarly is like the world gold standard for is word editing tool. I don't know how to put it. Send it to someone else. Send it to a trained eye, someone who can pick out. Sometimes the problem with your work is not necessarily the punctuations. It's probably what you are even writing there. Maybe it doesn't really make so much. It's not as compelling as you thought it would be. Sometimes it could even be, the approach you took to writing it. Sometimes it could just be change the flow, or maybe you are putting too much information or too little information, right? There are times I have written. I remember writing one particular essay. In fact, at that point, I felt if the award is going to be $1,000, they'll probably give me $10,000 because I felt this is the best any man on earth has ever produced. Don't mind, when we were undergraduates, we thought we are going to shake the world just like that, and life has calmed us down. All right, but what I think is important. Okay, but what I think is important. The point I'm trying to make here is this. It wasn't that I sent it to someone who was a senior colleague at that time, and she said, "What are you writing?" That I couldn't make sense of anything you were writing. I didn't realize that. Come on, see, sometimes you just need that extra person to look through your work to actually help it make sense. All right, so don't send it yet. I know you've spent 2 months editing it. You put it through all the best editors you can actually use. Send it to someone else. After the person is done with his or her job, send it to someone else, and keep sending it to people until you are sure that this work can actually stand anywhere and not be burnt. Okay, so it's important you do that. At least don't use ChatGPT to write your essay because it's so easy. I've seen a lot of people do that, and it's so easy to actually catch them. In fact, someone sent me a friend of mine was applying for a program in the United States, and he sent me his statement of purpose. I opened it and I said, "This is ChatGPT generated," and because it was so easy to pick out, this probably should not be part of what I'm saying at this point, but I think it's important some people hear this because some feel that they can bend the system by putting AI. I mean, I love AI, I really love it, but be very, very circumspect with how you use it. And with that, I have to stop at this time so I don't take extra. I don't take into the time of the next person. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Oh, thank you so much, sir.
Amazing as always, Ogana.
Thank you, Jessica.
I am always in awe. Like every time you speak, I want to be there because you always leave with such, like, I didn't mean to be rude when I said short, brief slides, but like they're so profound. Like the message is huge. So
thank you.
Yeah, listen to Ogana, guys.
Listen to Jessica too.
And Vanessa.
Hi, Dewey, over to you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mr. Ogona. It's an amazing section, and we hope to get better in it. So over to the next speaker. Yes, I'll be introducing her. Her name is China Zaikpiri, a distinguished geoscientist, holds a bachelor's degree in geological sciences from the esteemed Nnamdi Azikiwe University in Nigeria. She's a co-founder and a geoscientist at GeoBrazer Solution. With a zeal for cutting-edge research and innovation, she has earned recognition for her work as a geoscience researcher, showcasing her expertise through 9 published works spanning oil and gas exploration, water quality assessment, and geoscience education. Her remarkable journey includes over 20 technical presentations where she passionately shares her insights and discoveries. Notably, she secured first place in the 2020 American Association of Petroleum Geologists, AAPG, Sustainable Development in Energy contest with an impactful research project. This research presented at the prestigious 2020 International Meeting for Applied Geoscience and Energy in Austin, Texas, US, solidified a position as a thought leader in sustainable development within the geoscience sphere. Adding to her accolades, she achieved first place in the highly competitive 2023 Switch International Energy Case competition, showcasing her exceptional problem-solving abilities and proficiency in the energy sector. Beyond her academic and research prowess, she served as the former president of the Society of Exploration Geophysicists, Nnamdi Azikiwe University Student Chapter, advocating for quality geoscience education. She's dedicated and committed to excellence and have earned numerous scholarships, including prestigious SEG and AAPG Foundation scholarships, along with various research grants. Wow. Our philanthropic spirit shines through our extensive volunteer work and contribution to community building. She continues to be an inspiration in the field of geoscience, striving for sustainability solution and nurturing the next generation of geoscientists. Glory. Wow. So I hereby hand over to Chinaza. It's so nice to have you around. Hello.
Yeah, hello. Thank you so much, Deborah, for that introduction. Thank you so much. And I want to thank all the speakers that have spoken, Jessica, Vanessa, Annabella, and my mentor, Babati, which you know as Ogonna Menaha. You know, in fact, everything that that I have achieved, all the things that you read, is because I met Mr. Ogonna. And in fact, I don't know how to say, but God will keep blessing him for me. Yes. So, and because I listen to him, because my God, he will not spare you. He will tell you the truth. So, and when you listen to him, you reap the benefits. Yes, exactly. So, thank you so much, Babati. And Tolu, why did you allow Ogonna to speak before me? What am I going to say again? You allow my boss to speak before me. You should have let the smaller.
Aru, let's be coming down. Just go ahead.
Please, I don't even know where to start again. But I'll just share the little thing that my experiences, right? And what I think I would say. So let me share my slide. I hope. Mr. Ghana, please can you unshare yours? Because I'm still seeing your screen.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Really? I already unshared it. Is it still on your screen?
It just went off.
Yes.
I stopped sharing like 10, 15 minutes ago. I don't know. Sorry.
Maybe still on the call.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry, Teams. We're not so familiar with Teams, but I'll try and navigate. Okay, Jessica, please, can you make me a presenter again? Okay.
All right, you're good. I've done that.
Okay. Okay.
I don't know if Ogana has to take his down.
Oh no. Can you
Okay,
people
it's
see?
back.
Can you all see my screen now?
Yeah, you can see it.
Okay. All right. So thank you so much, Tolu, for organizing this webinar. I know that our audience are getting value. So, and I was asked to discuss about the application process, the key elements to focus on, and the practical tips on showcasing academic achievements, extracurricular activities, and passion for the field. So I just tagged it navigating the SEG scholarship application process. So, and for these few moments, I'll just be talking about the key elements to focus on and then practical tips. So, first of all, let me just ask if you have seen the question list, because I know that the first time I applied, I opened that site, I went there. My God, if you download the question list, is you're gonna download, I think it's a 15 to 16 page document. And for typical Nigerians, we are not so used to other forms of scholarship. You just put in your GP, done, you don't write things, right? But for SEG scholarship and many other global scholarships, you have to write. So the first time I saw the question list, I was kind of scared because those questions, like Mr. Ghana said, what how did you become interested in applied geophysics? What do you want to do with geosciences? You know, coming from the background that I don't know anything about geosciences. Maybe you know me, I did not until I got the admission. And even in first year, I was working hard. I was working hard so that I could get my GP and move to medicine. Yes. So until I attended one of the sections by the SEG, APG, NMGS executives. And this, because even the class is mine, I could not get something. So until they told us, they started sharing where geosciences can be applied, right? You know, the opportunities in geosciences, especially the opportunities in these professional organizations, right? How you can, I don't know what catches your fancy, but I love traveling. So they said SEG can take you around, SEG can, through SEG, you can travel. So those were the things that caught my interest. And I started putting my head down to actually see if I can understand what geosciences is and what I can use it to do. So the question list, it can be scary if you make it that way, if you see it that way. There are so many things for you to write. There are essays, you have to talk about your research, you have to talk about your volunteering, you have to talk about everything, you have to write your CV, you have to get the professors to recommend you. If you look at it somehow, you might want to back away from it. But like I said in one of my posts, it can be revealing when you take your time to breathe, like he said. You look at this question, you go back, you are thinking on it. Look at all the questions. What I do, I write them down. Those questions in the PDF, I convert them to Word documents and I take it one after the other. So when you actually go through this step, you can get it your first time. You may not get it your second time, or you can even get it after your fourth time, like Izuchuku. But for every process that you go through that question list and try to answer it, you tend to understand yourself better or even catch the vision that you've been looking for, what you actually want to do with geosciences in the future. Now, that would take me to what are the key elements that you should focus on. Based on my experiences, I think Vanessa said answer all the questions correctly, right? In English, your demography, everything is important. But however, I want to focus on the essay questions. There are four. I would also want to focus on the employment, internship, and research program section, the community service, the professor's recommendation, very, very important, because let's just talk home base. These institutions, everything that you wrote, they want to, a professor will validate all that you wrote. Whether you talk about your internship, your employment, your everything that you have done, if you don't have someone that can stand for you and say that this person, this student is worthy of all the things that he has said that he has done, and I recommend this student for this scholarship, or if the professor cannot portray you as a student, a good student that showcases all that you have said, that might be a problem for you, because you've had such cases. And then your resume. It's true that in the form, it's not a required field, but who knows what it can do for you. So I'm sure that all the things that are in your resume will not be in the question list. So your resume is a place where you can talk more, say everything, all the things that you have not said in that's your question in filling the form. You have your resume to say that. And then, of course, if you've had reviewed papers or publications, presentations, awards, and honors, you should not look away from those things in your application. So let me start first of all with the SEG essay questions for the undergraduate. Yes, because this is for the undergraduate. So I'll just run it through because Ghana has touched it. How did you become interested in geophysics? Everything he said is true. There's no need to lie about it. You just have to be. The second one, what do you hope to do with applied geophysics in your future career? What particular area of geophysics or related sciences are you interested in? And then what course in the geosciences that you have already completed has captured your attention? All the things that he said applies to this. But one more thing I have to include is consistency. Consistency, because this is like this is the question. This is like you are reflecting on what has happened, and you're also making a vision of where you want to be. And of course, you have to choose one. You somehow your essay has to be consistent. If you say you are interested, what you want to do is you want to help in providing water, or you want to help in exploring for energy, and everything you have to say, please try to find a way to relate it back to the SDGs. It's very key and important. So if you say you want to go into energy, I would like it will be good that you say part of that in your first essay. It should also be seen in your second, in your third, and in your fourth, so that they know, okay, you have made this part for yourself. Because when you have when they know that, okay, you have chosen, this is the aspect of geosciences that I want to go with, or this is the problem that I want to channel my solutions in, and this is the area of geosciences that can help me to contribute to solving that problem or that SDG goal. They know, okay, this person has found their passion. Just like he said, nobody is going to fund you because you are poor, but because you are promising. And for you to be promising, you have to show us that you have you have seen the path that you want to work in geosciences. Maybe in the future it can change, right? When I got the scholarship, everything I was passionate about was water, SDG 6, right? I want to contribute to solving, to tackling the issues of clean water, because my first experience as a field geoscientist was the SEG field camp, and what we solved there was solving for evaluating the groundwater potentials and their vulnerability to pollution. So that's what I was exposed to, and that's what triggered my interest, right? But over the years, as I've graduated, I tend to find another passion and energy. But then I knew this is what I want to do. So they have to see, okay, you have seen the problem that you want to solve. I would also recommend that you could check out Maria Angelo paper on mapping geophysics to SDGs. It can help you to see, okay, these are the SDGs that geophysics is solving, and then you would know if any of them aligns with what you want to do, and you would see this is the way to contribute to it. So, and then for your employment and internships and research programs, the same thing that he said. They asked you to list, and it's also there you have to list and you have to describe it. So when you are listing, for each one that you list, I would like to say that you try to be consistent. Now, if you have things that you have done, you said you are pursuing a career in hydrogeophysics, you're pursuing a career in energy. Part of your internship should be maybe in drilling, water borehole drilling, or maybe Ministry of Water Resources, or maybe geophysical surveyors for water exploration. So those things should come first, because they show that you are interested in this. Not just are you interested, but you're already making an effort towards it. So, so it's not, maybe you said you want to do hydrogeophysics, and the employment you are showing me is fashion designing or maybe baking. It's not consistent, right? It does not show that that you really mean what you said in your essay. Even if you have, maybe it can come in your CV in the down end, but let your package be consistent. Let it have one message that this is where you're heading to. So your IT is part of in employment, that is your internships, or maybe if you're doing a side hustle, you're someone that you want to see how machine learning can be applied to um, geophysical data processing, and you have done some internships on that. You list it there. You describe what you did. You describe the task that you are given, and how did you do, and what you did, and then what was the result. Remember, you have just 2,000 2,500 characters for each of these sections. I had to match them in the same thing because it's the same method you're going to use. So for each of the things you listed, don't just list it and leave it like that. Describe what did you do, what was the action, what was the result, or even go ahead to explain the impact of maybe your research, what you did in your internship, or anything that you did there. So the same thing with your community service or volunteer work. And that would take me to the professor's recommendation. Now, sometimes I would say that don't just meet any professor to write recommendation for you. Make sure that the professor that you meet can assure you the quality time, right? So that they don't just write, he's a good student, he comes to classes, he's GP, and that's all. They have to provide sufficient answer. They have to invest their time in answering these questions. So, and when you are meeting them, you don't just meet them, okay, maybe this is your first time you are getting to know about the scholarship. You still have the time. You can still send that professor your CV. You put their email in the grant interface. You send them the mail, send them your CV, send them your results. So your CV has an explanation of all that you have done, so that the professor can see how to answer these questions adequately, so that you can stand out, right? Now, then another thing is the resume. It is optional, right? But I feel it's another strong point to show that you are promising, right? Because there you don't tend to show your professional trainings, you don't tend to maybe show your skills, you know, things are limited, or even the conferences you have attended, right? But in the resume, please restrict it to just 2 pages. 2 pages is okay. We know that you have done a lot, but now, right now, for this particular application, you have to streamline your resume to your focus in the scholarship application. So let's say I have over 9 publications, right? Oil and gas, hydrogeophysics, geoscience education. But for the scholarship, I want to focus on oil and gas exploration. I would leave the water. I would also leave the education alone. and just tailor my CV to reflect my oil and gas portfolio, what I've done in the oil and gas sphere, right? So that goes for both your professional trainings, your awards, you can put in everything, your relevant work experiences, your soft skills, your leadership experiences. Like I said, in each of these sections, you list it, the day, the duration, and then 2 or 3 bullet points to highlight your significant achievements in that position. You don't just write president of NMGS, secretary this, course rep that. You have to give 2 to 3 bullet points of what you did. If you are still in that role, you highlight what is your role. You highlight what you are doing. But if the role has ended, you are going to be using it in past tense. So you have to make sure that, of course, your CV should be free of grammatical errors. You should quantify your achievements. If you've moderated up to 10 webinars, don't just write I moderate webinars. Quantify it, list it there. Moderated 10 webinars, increase the student chapter members by 100%. People are drawn to statistics, right? So your CV is a good place to amplify what you have done, give people the statistics of your achievements, right? And then it should be well organized and straight to the point, no too much long stories. All right. And others that you would like to also pay attention to is your peer reviewed paper. Maybe you have presented in a conference, you have presented your seminar, you have presented in field camps. Those things are presentations. There's a format there in that in the question list of how you should enter it. Please follow the same format. And then your awards and honors, the same way you put them in your CV, also put them in the form. But there are character limits, so the ones that you left out in the form can go to your resume, right? Then in the end, I would like to say start on time. Today is still 19. You still have like 6 weeks to do all these things, and then you can still identify your loopholes and fill them. Maybe um, you are not yet sure of the area that you want to focus on. So you have the time now to think about it, right? You have the time to really think about this. What do you want to do with applied geophysics? And what I want you to know is that by the time you are done with this process, you'll be happy with yourself because you have it helps you to identify your purpose, and you're not just studying geosciences that you are just going to school and coming back. No, you now have that, you now know that there's something that you have to contribute to the world through geosciences, and it will make you to put in more effort, and you'll be a student that can make an impact even as an undergraduate, right? Then, like Mr. Gunnar said, have your essay reviewed by an external body. Very, very important. I submitted an application last week. I submitted my CV. I sent it to someone to review for me. I did not know. In fact, I've submitted that CV like that before. But when I sent it to someone to look at it for me, the person was able to spotlight even grammatical errors that I could not see. Sometimes you're the person that is working on this thing, you'll be looking at this thing every day. You might not be able to see those mistakes, right? You might not, you in your mind to be okay. But when you give it to an external body, you get your responses. And please give it to someone that will tell you the truth. If you have the time, Mr. Gunnar can look at it. I can also look at it. There's this we're also running the SEG Scholarship Application Review Program. So you can also join that. You can look at your essays, tell you, the mistakes. Your entire application packet, we like to look at that so that we can spotlight those mistakes that you can make. Then SEG says that they give to non-members, but please try to be an SEG student, a paid member. You can unlock so many benefits through that. And then please don't share your essays. Be reasonably honest. And when you are done, please submit your application. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Who knows? You might be selected. And then, of course, pray to your God. So that would be the little that I have to share. Thank you. I hope I can stop sharing.
Okay. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So I think Deborah is not on the call again. But I'll quickly handle that. There are a few questions. Mary, first of all, I even personally I have learned a lot. Although I tried applying, I think last 2 years, that 2022, yeah, 2022. Though it was not successful because of little bit of glitching as regards the transcript. But I feel there are some few questions that are here in the question chat box here. The first question is for students who is not finding it easy to navigate into the course. How can one help even when the person is not ready to quit? I don't know if you get the question.
Okay, if you're finding difficult to understand what you're actually studying,
Yeah, I know this is
okay,
way off the question, but
yeah, of
it will
course.
help in the essay. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a very important question because you the essay is a reflection of what you are going through. So if you're not finding it nice, you might not be able to write the essay. So one thing I would say is join professional organizations and attend the activities. That was the way that I found geosciences interesting, right? You know, for something that you've not had all your life, and then you're just giving that admission. So when you come into the classes, the courses might be sounding so strange to you, right? So but when you become a member of these professional organizations like SEG, um you tend to what is discussed there you tend to go to the field. You meet people that are already working in the industry, and then they will tell you what they are doing. So I believe that when you see someone that is working in the industry and what they are doing, how they are using geosciences to save the world, like Mr. Ogonna now, who is going to be trying to remediate contaminated water using solar energy. That is what he's doing in geosciences. That can strike an interest in you if you have ever you are aligned to that, or maybe you see how through seismic interpretation you could review oil prospects, solving to the energy problem that we have in Nigeria. That could be a way that would make you to start looking into. You can watch YouTube videos. There are so many topics for dummies. In fact, the evolve program that we're doing, I had to go and watch a YouTube video on the Gulf of Mexico. It helped me to understand. So you can go to YouTube videos. I remember then I had to start using YouTube videos. You can browse that topic video, watch it. When you watch something, you tend to gain better understanding than just the reading that you are doing, right? And also, I would advise group study. I use that a lot. So I had my group. We were 4 to 5. We know those topics that those subjects that are those courses that are hard. So when we gather together, we read it and we discuss it. So when you are discussing these things, you tend to gain better insight than just reading to pass your exams, and they can they can help you to start gain a better understanding and find it very interesting. So I said three things, right? Your study group, join organizations, and then YouTube videos could help.
Yeah, very, very important. I think for me, that's what has also helped me. YouTube is more like a university on its own, and that's very key. I think so that we take the last person. The second question is for students who did not go through internship and all of the professional careers and everything, how can you get to do this?
Okay.
I know
Okay.
these are questions because I think the person asking this question, from my own perspective, um, let me say for my own school, we don't go on IT. I think we've had that discussion before. We don't go on IT, and there's no opportunity for us to even explore any kind of internship. But for me, I don't know. I think you'll do a better explanation. But let me just give a brief overview. For me, I actually did what's it called? Some virtual internship. I think during COVID, I took a 3 month internship with a particular consultant firm in Lagos, and I think that's what spurred my interest to more of geoscience field. So, and the other virtual internship. So I don't know. Let me hear your own view as regards that question.
Okay, if you maybe you check through those things and you feel like you don't have them now, it should not discourage you. You can write your essays and go through the process, right? But what it should make you to do is to work. You have another 1 year to fill in those things so that the next year you can have things to do. That was what I did the first time I applied. I did not get it, right? Because those spaces were blank. They were blank. I didn't have anything to put there, right? But what I did was when I saw those, I now what it gives me is a to-do list. It's going to give you a to-do list. You have to start looking out for these internships. You have to start attending field trips. You can join research community. There are so many research community out there that you can join, right? So everything is virtual now. You can even apply for the SEG Evolve internship. It's an internship that you can gain. All right. So it should not discourage you. Go through the process, submit it, and get rejected. Beautiful. Enjoy the experience. But now you have a to-do list. You know that there is work for you to do. So that's what I can say.
All right, all right. I don't know if
I don't
Jessica
know if
and
Mr. Ghana wants to add something. I don't know if Mr. Ghana wants to add something to that.
okay, he's still on the call. Okay, yeah, he's still on the call. Okay, Mr. Oguna, would you like to add something to it? I think is muted. Okay, Vanessa, would you like to add anything to that?
Yes. The most important things that the committee takes into account for selecting candidates that are eligible for a scholarship are the essay questions, right? That's the most important part. Like I said before, when you answer those essays, you just think about who you are, what do you like, what do you want to do, and how do you want to apply your knowledge to geophysics or to the area that is related to geophysics. Okay, be honest. Just say what you think. Uh, use your heart. I know that it will be great. That's the first thing. The second thing, professor recommendations, teachers recommendations. Be wise when you select the teacher, when you select the professor. It has to be someone that knows you. It's someone that it needs to be someone that can uh, support you. Okay, because I've seen some professor recommendations where just the teacher just answered one question and then nothing else. They cannot say that how good you are. What have you done? They cannot say, why do you deserve the scholarship? So you need someone that really supports you. And last but not least, you need to have your school enrollment. If you don't have that, you won't be able to gain a scholarship. You can say, for example, you can apply and saying, I apply for this university or for this school. I'm not sure that I'm gonna be enrolled, but at least you have to show that you are in the way of gaining the enrollment. If you are already enrolled, great. But if you are selected for the scholarship, you need to show that you really are enrolled in a school. So those three things, like I say, essays, professor recommendations, and your enrollment to the school or university. And let me tell you, I'm here to help you. If you need anything, just let me know. If you have any other questions, when I'm the person who check on the applications, so I can tell you, you are missing this part, you are missing the other part, you need to improve this part, you need to just be patient, just take your time, and that's it. Just take your time.
Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I really appreciate everyone. Quick one. I think we have some hands raised up. If you don't mind, after the last speaker, you ask your question. You can lower your hand so that I can remember that you have a question, and I would make sure that you ask your question after the last speaker. So because the meeting is supposed to end at exactly 6 o'clock, but this 6:22. I would actually just want the last speaker. I know this is a SEG meeting, but I actually brought this last speaker, um, who will be speaking as regards the AAPG, which is there's an AAPG grant aid which is currently going on, and I feel it synchronizes with the geoscience as a whole. I don't know, Deborah, are you still on the call?
Yeah, balik.
Deborah, are you still on the call? Okay. All right. So I don't think Deborah is on the call, but either ways, I'll just do a brief introduction about our next speaker. In person of Uzuchukwu Korie, is a recent graduate of geology in Nnamdi Azikiwe with a passion for data analysis and its application in solving geoscientific problems. During his undergraduate days, he had gained valuable leadership and volunteering experience, as well as participated in several projects. And he has also won grants for his academic achievements, including the AAPG Foundation Scholarship in 2022. He's also the co-founder of GeoBrazer Solution, a geoscientific firm focused on map making, geospatial data analysis, and geoscientific modeling. Currently, he is working as a lab assistant at the Anambra State Material Testing Lab, ASMTL, where he assists in conducting geotechnical tests on soil sample. He loves watching football, and it's a great delight to have Mr. Izuchukwu Korie, if I'm correct. Welcome, sir. You have the floor. Can you hear me? Can you hear me, Mr. Korie?
All right. Yeah, I can hear you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Good evening. Yeah. the last person, okay, the previous speakers, they've said everything all concerning SEG. So I think it's also nice to talk about AAPG, although I do not have slides, so I'm gonna say these things in 5 minutes or less. So one of the criteria or one of the requirements of AAPG scholarship. Please, can you hear me? Let me be sure I'm not speaking to myself.
Yes.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right, all right. Okay, one of the requirements of AAPG grant is that you should provide your intended use of fund. So it's just like part of the essay. So in this part of the essay, you talk about the things you want to use the funds for. You can talk about. I've seen many people say that they want to pay tuition fee. Some say they want to attend conferences. Some say they want to get laptops and other field gadgets. So they are all fine, but in one way or the other, these requirements are kind of basically for our personal and professional development. So in here, I'm going to talk about the type or the things that you can do, to develop yourself with the fund personally and professionally. So I will go with the personal development first. So the first thing you can do here is that to actually fulfill those things that you said in your intended use of fund. Let's say you said you want to invest in your education, that is by paying your tuition fee. So you should go ahead, make sure that you make use of the fund for that. I'm not saying you should make use of all the fund, but particularly just make sure that you made use of the fund for the intended use you told them. Okay. You can also go ahead and get gadgets, laptops, phones. One of my friends in school, she said that a good phone is a geoscientific equipment, and that is very true. That also applies to a good laptop. As a geoscientist, you should also have a laptop. So another thing is you can invest in skills development. So you can use part of the fund to register for physical or online courses during holidays or weekends. For somebody like me that loves tech, you can go into tech related courses, maybe data science and the rest. For others that doesn't like tech related courses, you can venture into maybe online courses in your desired field of study, maybe mineral exploration. Maybe you can register for one in Coursera or Udemy. So in this way, you're kind of developing yourself personally. So I will also talk about the professional development. Here, you try to carry out research. It might not really be enough. The fund might not really be enough to carry out a full research. But it can help you to maybe publish a review article. So that's one. It can also help you to so in this way, you're kind of developing yourself professionally. So I was so happy and I was so lucky to.
Sorry, am I the only
That
one that is okay? Okay, you can continue. You can continue.
So, like I said, during my own time I was involved in a research cluster. So I used some percentage of the grant, to venture into not that I paid for the whole publication, but part of my own contribution was from the grant money, the grant fund. So that way, it's part of the professional network. You know, at conferences, you can connect with students, academians. You can also connect to professionals and also get mentors. you're also developing yourself professionally. So you can also venture into community involvement and volunteering. Yeah, that's a nice one. So for instance, you can see people that are kind of organizing outreach, to maybe nearby school. You can also join them. It's part of the professional development. You can join professional association. Let's say, for instance, you got the funding from AAPG, and you notice that you're not in SEG or in NMGS. So you can use part of the funding, to register for other professional associations. That way, it can open more rooms for other grants from the other associations. Okay, it should be very, very unfair if I say all these things without saying that you should take care of your well-being. That's part of it. You should, eat well, because it's not easy to go through the emotional stress of crafting out a winning application. So I know there are other things you would like to do with the fund. Yeah, I know we have business gurus here. So these are the ones that I have to say, and you can add your own. So for you to make good use of the fund, both personally and professionally. So with that, I would say thank you guys for having me.
Okay. Yeah, thank you very much. I would say it's the little short words you said has actually brought a whole lot. What you want to use it for. Even me myself, I'm trying to decide what do I want to use for, what do I want to use the grant for? Because at the same time, while applying for SEG, I also want to apply for APG, which on the both side, it's going to help a long way. Also, I believe that a lot of students have left because I've seen a reduction in the numbers. But either still, I believe before they left, they've been able to gain full stops from this webinar. I think some set of people raised up their hands the other time. So if you can raise up your hand again. Okay, yeah, you have the floor, Gaius. Yeah, if I'm correct. You can unmute yourself and talk. Okay. We're not hearing you. I don't know if I'm the only one not hearing.
Now.
Okay.
All right. I say if you have a student chapter that was initially inactive before, and then it became active, that's we reactivated it, and then we are unable to upload any report yet to the SEG, can we still have the opportunity to apply, or we must have to give a report first?
Okay. I don't know.
What
okay.
what application are you talking about?
Like the scholarship?
Vanessa, I guess that's a question for you, and because I'm not 100% because I don't really do scholarships, but for scholarships, you have to have a paid SEG membership, correct?
Yes.
For the first time,
Yes,
if you is the first time, no. Is when you are awarded with a scholarship, that will be a requirement for a renewal.
But for any of the other student chapter programs, for those, you have to have an active student chapter. And so if your student chapter has not completed the report in a couple of years, you'll need to get on and the link that I have right here in the chat and complete the report. for those that are reactivating their chapter, I know, there are a lot of questions and you're like, well, we didn't do any of this stuff because we weren't active last year. We get that. And so that way, just kind of like Mary has talked about, it's important for you to see, like the questions. So at least look at the activities that we want you to be, engaged in. And so for those, you would just write in those boxes, we plan to do these in 2024. And you can copy and paste that, all the way down for the different activities because you're reactivating a chapter, and you can put in one of the boxes and that way I see it because I'm the one who it goes to. You can put, we are reactivating this chapter and just let me know that, and then put, we will do this in 2024 for all of the boxes. And then, really, I'll just wait for your faculty advisor to do their part. When you put in their email address on the student chapter report, it will send your faculty advisor an automatic email, and then they answer the questions in that email, and then it somehow submits it onto your paper or your report. And then I will check that your 4 officers have a paid membership. And then after that, your chapter is back active and you can apply for any student programs. I hope that answered your question.
Okay, guys, does that answer your question? I don't know if you're still on the call, but does that answer your question? Okay, I think let's move on to Henry. Henry, you have the floor. Quickly ask your question. I want us to finish by 6:30. Okay, sorry, 6:40.
Question.
Can you be louder?
Okay. Just a quick question. Can you hear me?
All right.
Much better.
Okay. Can a newly registered SEG apply for the scholarship?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. I think quick one. Before we, I don't know if there's, well, I have a question here. During the form registration, I dropped a part where they can ask questions. So I know this is okay. Yes. All right. So the question that I feel it's necessary because I feel most of the questions has been answered by the speakers. So the first question is how can we get a scholarship study US based on SEG membership? And I think this is related more with the US and is related with SEG. So I don't know how I can fix this question, but I think the person is asking that if someone is based in the US, how can he apply for the SEG membership and other things? So I don't know if that answers, if you get the question. Vanessa or Jessica.
If they're in the US or if they're, in Nigeria, it doesn't matter. They can use the same seg.org link to do everything. So it's the same website link, no matter where you are in the world.
All right. Okay. So this last question goes to Izuchukwu. The person is asking, what are the basic requirements for the AAPG grant? I don't know if Izuchukwu is still on the call. Okay, I think he's no longer on the call. Okay, I think he has left the call. All right, so I don't know if there are any other words you would like to add to this. Jessica, is there any other thing you would like to add to it?
I don't think I have anything to add, just that we at SEG, and I probably speak for Vanessa and Annabella as well, we are just so incredibly proud of, your students in your student chapters. The words that Ogana mentioned, Mary mentioned, you, Peter, have mentioned. I wish, and I'm being so honest when I say this, I wish y'all could come to America and speak to some of our students, because I feel that they are a little bit lazier. And Vanessa would probably attest to that. And it's your tenacity and want and desire to better yourself is so inspiring. It just brings me to nearly tears, because you just want so much for yourself. And I wish everyone had your spirit. So I don't really have anything else to add. I'll put my email in the chat one more time. And then, like I said, my plan is to talk to Annabella about starting a student chapters Basecamp group. I don't know how many people I can add. I don't know if there's a max, but I think, I mean, I know we have Slack and obviously we have LinkedIn, but I think that it might be a good idea to do a Basecamp group too. And then and of course, WhatsApp is good too, but then we can have, I can share more stuff on there. So if that's okay with you, that's like my top thing to do, is to set that up. And so I guess my next question, which this is something I'd have to talk to Annabella with, is should it be faculty advisors and all officers, or just the presidents? Because if so, it would be like over 1,000 people, and that would be kind of crazy. So I will verify with her, and then we will kind of go from there.
All right. I think it would be a great option. Though we at the Sub-Saharan, we already have one. I don't know if we probably for each I think the SEG is divided in region basis. I think if we can have it like more like a community, a WhatsApp community, where each of these regions are sub-based. So probably you be an admin. So once you drop an announcement in the major WhatsApp announcement, everyone in the whole region can have a response, can see that message instantly. I don't know if you get that.
Okay, you know what, Peter? I'm going to have Mary, do you understand what he's meaning by community? Because actually Mary helped me build a group on WhatsApp. I'm so slow with WhatsApp. Peter, can I get with Mary and have her explain a little bit with the community offline? And then we can see if that's the best way to communicate. And maybe we can do both. I just want to make sure that everybody from every chapter knows about the opportunities. And the reason I say that, guys, is I look at the student chapter reports and I see like what your faculty advisor says. And I'll be honest, you want to use the word bother, but it kind of like it makes me feel weird when they say, we don't know anything about all the opportunities and we don't know about the programs. And I'm sitting here like, what? I posted on LinkedIn, I tag you, I put it on, I email all of you, and I'm thinking to myself, what? How do you not know? Like, you probably get annoyed by knowing how much we do, right? And so that's why I was thinking, you know what? If there's a way I can do another thing, I'll do a Basecamp group and a WhatsApp group and every group, because that way I just want to hit every, make sure I get every target audience, because I don't want anybody to go, what? I never even knew this existed. So that's what I don't want to have that happen. So I'll talk to Mary, Peter, and then I will let you know.
All right, no problem. We can, if you feel you need more explanations, we can jump on a call or drop a message. Either way, I'm
Please,
readily
Jessica,
available.
I can't see your email.
Okay. All right. Is this
okay? I just put it in the chat. I don't know who's talking because I'm not seeing. But if you know Peter's or if you know how to get in touch with Peter or Mary, they both have my email. If you can't get it in the chat.
Okay, Mary, please call your WhatsApp number for me. Let me write it down.
I can't
That's
see your
perfectly fine.
number.
Okay, 090. Can you did you get it? 090
Yes.
640
640
839
839
67.
67. Okay.
Yes.
I'm a geology student at Nnamdi Azikiwe University.
Amazing.
Are you serious? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, sorry, quick one. I think there's a question, though I know it's been answered, but I just need a big clarification. This person asking, my school doesn't have SEG student chapter, and so how can I become a member? So I don't know. Can anyone answer to that? So it gives clarity to that.
Jessica, I think you should be the right person for that because
Yeah.
Okay, if someone does not have a student chapter, how can they be a member?
remember.
Okay, so anybody can be a member. Like you can be a student and be a paid SEG member. But if your university does not have a student chapter, I would highly recommend that you start one. And I will put in our website link that has all the different things that I say all the different things. It's really just a checklist of what you have to do to start a student chapter. And it might seem kind of overwhelming at first, but I will tell you, you've got people on here that have started a student chapter from the ground up and they did it. So I'm going to put this link in the chat. And this is how to start a student chapter, but you can definitely, Rebecca, be a SEG member without being in a student chapter. Now, certain applications and certain programs are only if you have a student chapter. Not all of them, but certain ones. So like the scholarship, like Vanessa said, you can apply for that if you're, but you can't apply for like SLS unless you're a student chapter. So there's different programs like Evolve. You don't have to be in a student chapter, but you have to have a paid SEG membership. So that's kind of how it works on our end. But if Rebecca, if you had a more specific question or any other questions, you can definitely email me.
Yeah. All right.
And
I think
add
that
me on LinkedIn if possible, and then you can see all of my posts about the opportunities with SEG. And if you tag me, and I kind of have been slow, I'm so sorry with LinkedIn, but if you tag me, then I will repost your post on LinkedIn. If it's something, SEG related, student chapter related, or if, you get a new job, or if you get, a good thing going on in your life, I love to promote all of our students.
yeah. All right. Thank you very much, Jessica.
Of course.
Thank you very much, Vanessa. I think thank you very much, Mary. I think Mary has really been really supportive. Because my testimony as regards my student chapter, on before Jessica became the student advisor, I think we had issues trying to reactivate the student chapter. It's been very active for over like over 5 years before I gained admission to the school, and reactivating it, just checking on LinkedIn and reaching out to people. And ever since then, I would say Mary has been really supportive on the journey. And Jessica most especially, I know she must have been saying, oh, this guy is always disturbing with mails. I really disturb her with mails like almost every time. But I really appreciate you coming on this call, and thanks to Mr. Ogona. I think, yeah, he's still on the call, and to everyone that's participated in this. I'm even looking for, maybe there'll be a time where we can just have just a review section on those that have applied, and you're coming to, I don't know if that's workable, where we just have to just review or check, probably bring in some people that are there, and we'll have to select some few set of people and we review the applications. I don't know if that's something we can work out. Is it something that is workable? I don't know. Maybe me and Mary will still have a discussion as regards that. Thank you very much to everyone, and I would say have a wonderful day. And for us, is already what's the time? Yeah, there's 6:49 p.m. I don't know what's the time over there. That should be around 12:49. Okay, 11:49. All right. So thank you very much, Vanessa. I really appreciate. This is my first time meeting you, and I really
It's a
want to
pleasure.
see. Yeah, and you will see my application this year, and I
I'm
can't wait.
sure we'll do.
All right. So
And like I say, anything that you
okay.
need, just let me know.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Quick one. I would want us to turn on our cameras. I would want us to take a very good picture so that I need to post it. So if you're in a good place, kindly turn in the camera. Okay.
If you're in a good place.
Okay, because I know some people, right? And probably don't have lights. Okay. Okay. All right. Rebecca, okay, just let me know if you I'm about to take a good screenshot and with your smiles and yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful
Thank you.
day. And
Yeah,
You
and tag,
too.
if
Thank
you're gonna
you.
post that on LinkedIn, tag
all right,
Vanessa and I in that, and then we'll repost it.
no problem. I'll definitely do. Okay, Rebecca is on. Let me quickly do that for Rebecca. Okay, and okay. All right. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful
Okay,
day.
bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank
Thank you.
you.
Bye,
Okay, so thank you,
everyone.
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Hi, Jessica. Sorry, quick one. Oh, she's left the call.
Jessica Tisalo.
Yeah. Okay, Vanessa, I don't know. I'll try and reach out to her. I want to get the recording of this up. If it's
Okay.
possible, we'll get the recording.
Please, Martinez, I'll chat you up on WhatsApp.
All right, no problem. Just introduce yourself, okay?
Okay,
And you have to set specials. I may not respond immediately. I have 30 WhatsApp messages.
okay.
Have a nice
I
day.
will.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank